musicians can record, and you can't record live theater. So it's ephemeral, and it's one time only, and it's a one-time experience. And so audiences can remember, but they can't see it again. Not what they saw the first time. And you really notice that when people I saw The Boat a lot of times when Robbie O'Neill did it as a one-man show. So much so, and I even directed it, sort of directed it once. And so much so that the total rhythm of that is it. Like I can just make my head move to the rhythm that Robbie spoke in. Yeah. And I went to see The Boat when it was done here, Ryan's version. And it was a completely different experience. And I found when the familiar words came along, I found my head starting to go, and the rhythm wasn't there. So it was a really different experience. I loved it. I loved the difference. I loved seeing it done in a different way. Some people in Halifax, some old Mulgrave Roaders had a bit of a problem with it, because they were so set for them in what it was done when it was done by them, And somebody else told me, I forget what the play was, some play they were going to see, I don't know, it could have been The Diary of Anne Frank or something, they were going to see at Neptune. They'd seen it when they were a kid, and it changed their lives. And they were going to go back and see it, and I said, maybe you shouldn't. And they got really mad at me. Of course I should go. And I never talked to them afterwards, but I'd love to know. Because you can see something once and it's so magical. And then, especially if you're a kid, right? And theater's changing too, so
big
much.
Time.
And, that was another thing about the casting of The Boat. For the first 2 minutes, I went, what? and then it went away, right? But I do think some people were a little surprised by some of the casting. But I think it's great. I think it's... we're a bit slow on the uptake out here.
Yes, we are.
But our generation isn't it? I mean, I think our generation.
But so is our general population. We're a bit slow. We're a little bit behind, I think. Theater is just part of whatever's going on in society, isn't it? It's just sometimes we are lagging behind, I think. But this has been going on, I used to go to all the PAC meetings when I was at Mulgrave Road, 1989, 90, 91, 92. Yeah. I remember Morris Podbury especially, he was at Centaur. But, I mean, that's a long time ago. It's it's more than 20 years ago. It's 30 years ago almost, isn't it? I think almost 30 years ago. And that's the conversation that was happening at the PAC meeting then. Our audience is mostly made up of people with blue hair. They're dying. What are we going to do? How are we going to get young people in? Yeah. So it seems to be something that happens every generation.